Commander Alan Martinez stood at the observation deck of Earth Defense Force headquarters, his face grim as he watched the alien ships enter Earth's solar system. The massive vessels moved with precision, their hulls gleaming under the distant sunlight. These were not the ships of allies. They were invaders. How many? He asked without turning. Lieutenant Frank Walsh checked the holographic display. Over 200 Zerathi warships, sir. They've just passed Jupiter's orbit. Alan nodded slowly. The betrayal was complete. After 10 years of Earth being part of the Galactic Council, their supposed allies had voted to sacrifice humanity to the Zerathi Empire. A peace treaty signed with alien blood, human blood. Any word from Ambassador Bennett? Her shuttle is expected to dock in 30 minutes. The Council stripped her of diplomatic status and is sending her home under guard. Alan's jaw tightened. Lisa Bennett had been Earth's voice in the Council for 8 years. She had fought for humanity until the end, casting the only vote against the treaty that sold Earth to the Zerathi. His communicator beeped. Martinez. Commander, this is General Pearson. Initiate protocol whisper. I repeat, initiate protocol whisper. Understood, sir. Alan felt a strange calm wash over him. They had prepared for this day even while hoping it would never come. He turned to Frank. Send the order to Captain Wright on the Defiance. Tell her to go dark and execute protocol whisper. The Defiance was Earth's secret weapon, a ship built with technology the humans had reverse-engineered but never revealed to the Council. Hidden in the shadow of Neptune, it was waiting for this exact moment. Across the planet, people gathered around screens and holographic projectors as news of the betrayal spread. In New York, children were rushed home from schools. In Beijing, government officials hurried into underground bunkers. In Lagos, people filled the streets, looking up at the sky with fear and anger. But beneath the panic, there was purpose. For years, Earth's leaders had suspected the Council might one day turn against them. Humanity had prepared in secret, building defenses and developing technologies far beyond what they had shared with their galactic neighbors. The Zerathi believed they were invading a primitive world of minimal resistance. The Council thought they were sacrificing the weakest member of their alliance. Both were about to learn how wrong they were. Lisa Bennett's shuttle landed at the EDF base in Colorado. Alan waited as the doors opened and she emerged, escorted by 2 towering Meridian guards. The aliens' blue skin contrasted with their silver uniforms as they formally handed Lisa over to human custody. Ambassador, Alan said with a salute. Lisa looked exhausted but determined. Her normally perfect suit was wrinkled, her hair disheveled. Commander, I'm sorry I failed. You didn't fail. You bought us time. He led her away from the shuttle. What happened in that council room? They planned this for months, Lisa said, her voice bitter. The Zerathi demanded a peace offering to end their border conflicts with the Council. The Council decided Earth was expendable. She paused. The vote was 12-1. Only Earth voted against its own sacrifice. Once they were inside the secure command center, Lisa's posture changed. She stood straighter, her eyes sharp and focused. Is Protocol Whisper active? As we speak, Alan confirmed. The first phase has begun. On a large screen, they watched satellite footage of the Zerathi ships entering Earth's orbit. Smaller vessels were already descending toward major cities. They expect us to surrender, Lisa said. And we will, officially. Alan pressed a button on the console. General Pearson has authorized a formal surrender to protect civilian lives. Meanwhile, our people are already moving into position across Council space. He brought up another screen showing the status of Earth's secret fleet. 5 ships, their existence unknown to the Council, were already on their way to hidden bases throughout the galaxy. Each carried hundreds of soldiers and scientists, seeds of resistance planted among the stars. What about the ground resistance? Lisa asked. Dr. Olivia Chen is coordinating from the Boston Underground. She has cells active on every continent. Alan showed her a map of Earth with glowing points marking resistance hubs. We expected betrayal, Ambassador. We've been planning for it. Lisa's eyes filled with tears, not of despair but of pride. They think we're primitive, that we're weak. It's their biggest mistake, Alan said. When I joined the EDF 20 years ago, before we even knew aliens existed, my commander told me something I never forgot. The most dangerous enemy is the one you underestimate. Outside, the first Zarathi landing craft were touching down in Washington, D.C. The alien invaders emerged, weapons ready, expecting resistance. Instead, they found empty streets. Earth's president delivered a formal surrender speech from an undisclosed location, buying time. Deep beneath the lunar surface, in a base that didn't exist in any council records, technicians activated the quantum network. Across Earth, millions of humans received subtle neural notifications, instructions delivered directly to special implants that the council never knew existed. Captain Samantha Wright stood on the bridge of the Defiance, watching her. Crew prepare the ship for its mission. All systems green, Captain, reported her first officer, John Bell. Quantum drives at full capacity. Stealth systems engaged. Samantha nodded. Set course for Proxima Centauri. We'll establish the first echo node there. The Defiance slipped, away from its hiding place, invisible to Zarathi sensors. As Earth fell to alien occupation above, humanity's counterattack was already beginning below. In his office at EDF headquarters, Alan Martinez watched the Zarathi flag being raised over the White House. The alien commander, General Vexorn, declared Earth officially part of the Zarathi Empire. Let them think they've won, Alan said quietly. Let the council believe they've appeased the Zarathi threat. Lisa nodded beside him. And meanwhile, we whisper. Yes, Alan agreed, his eyes hard with determination. We whisper, you chose this. Across the galaxy, the first human refugees, all carrying quantum transmitters in their bloodstreams, were already arriving at council worlds. The Echo Network was forming, the whisper was beginning, and the council's betrayal would soon be their undoing. 1 year after Earth's betrayal, the first major sign that something was wrong appeared on the luxury world of Eridani Prime. Council Elder Thoxar woke to find his bedroom door sealed shut. The home automation system that controlled every aspect of his lavish estate had locked down completely. Emergency overrides failed. Communication systems were dead. For 3 terrifying days, the influential council member was trapped in his own bedroom. When emergency crews finally cut through the reinforced walls, they found the elder dehydrated and humbled. The official explanation was a power surge that corrupted system controls. Technicians could find no evidence of tampering. Similar incidents began happening across council space. On Centauri Station, life support systems flickered for 3 minutes, causing momentary panic among the 10,000 residents. On the agricultural world of Proxima 2, irrigation systems flooded valuable crops with salt water instead of fresh. On the council military base at Rigel, weapon targeting systems developed mysterious blind spots during training exercises. Each failure was small enough to be dismissed as an isolated incident. But in the secure conference room of the council, Security Division Director Lantai was connecting the dots. The pattern is undeniable, she told the assembled security chiefs. These are not random malfunctions. In the past 3 months, critical system failures have increased by 42% across all council territories. A holographic map showed red dots where significant failures had occurred. What had begun as scattered points now formed clear clusters around major council facilities. Do we have evidence of sabotage? Asked Subdirector Vrel. Nothing conclusive, Lantai admitted. Our technicians find no physical signs of intrusion, no malicious code, no energy signatures. Then what is your theory, Director? The question came from General Mox, the council's military commander. Lantai hesitated before bringing up another display. We found only one common factor linking these incidents. Every affected system was manufactured, installed, or maintained by companies that employed human workers at some point in the past year. Silence fell over the room. Finally, General Mox spoke. That's impossible. The humans are defeated. The Zarathi occupation force controls Earth completely. Yet the evidence suggests otherwise, Lantai replied. I believe the humans have been playing a very long game. On a mining outpost near the edge of Council space, Nathan Reeves finished his shift and returned to his small quarters. The former janitor had worked his way up to equipment maintenance supervisor, giving him access to critical machinery throughout the facility. Today he had placed the last of his organic infiltration devices in the central processing unit that controlled ore refinement. Nathan activated his neural implant and sent a simple status update. Node 189 complete. The confirmation traveled instantly through the quantum network that humans called the Echo. In her underground command center on Earth, Dr. Olivia Chen received the update and added it to her map. The infiltration was now 97% complete. Almost every critical system in Council space had been touched by human hands carrying the specially engineered organic technology. "It's time," she said to Carol Adams. "Alert Commander Martinez. The whisper can begin." Deep beneath the lunar surface, Commander Alan Martinez received the message. For a year, his team had coordinated the most extensive covert operation in human history. Now they would reveal just how completely they had infiltrated Council civilization. "Send the activation signal," he ordered. Lisa Bennett, standing at his side, watched as the command was transmitted through the quantum network. "Do you think they'll understand the message?" she asked. "They'll have no choice," Alan replied. TU. Signal spread through the Echo network, activating every organic device placed by human operatives throughout Council space. Unlike conventional cyber attacks that sought to destroy or disable, the whisper was more subtle and far more terrifying. On the Council homeworld, every screen in the Grand Chamber suddenly displayed the same message in simple text. "You could have had us as allies. Instead, you chose this." The message appeared for exactly 5 seconds before systems returned to normal. In those 5 seconds, chaos erupted as Council members recognized the implications. Similar messages appeared throughout Council space, on personal devices, public terminals, military displays, and starship controls. Brief, but unmistakable. Then they vanished, leaving no trace for technicians to find. Each message was followed by a small demonstration. On some worlds, power grids cycled down and up again. On military vessels, weapon systems went offline momentarily. In the Council Central Bank, account balances flickered, showing zeros before restoring to normal values. Each demonstration lasted only seconds, just long enough to prove what humans could do if they wished. In the Grand Chamber, Council Supreme, Leader Voxthul called for order, as panicked representatives shouted questions and accusations. "This is clearly a human deception," declared the Zarathi ambassador. "A final act of defiance from a defeated species." Before anyone could respond, the chamber doors opened. A human woman walked calmly into the room, flanked by 2 Council security officers who seemed confused by her presence. "This is not our final act," said Lisa Bennett, who had been smuggled off Earth months earlier. "This is merely our introduction." Stunned silence fell over the chamber as the former Earth ambassador took the central position, the same spot where she had stood a year ago to cast her lone vote against Earth's sacrifice. "1 year ago, you voted to betray us," Lisa said, her voice steady. "You believed you were sacrificing a primitive species to save yourselves. You never asked yourselves an important question. Why would a primitive species be invited to join the Galactic Council in the first place?" On screens around the chamber, images appeared showing human technology that had been kept hidden from the Council. Advanced ships, weapons, and scientific achievements far beyond what Earth had revealed during their decade of membership. "We showed you only what we wanted you to see," Lisa continued. "We studied your technology while developing our own in secret. We prepared for betrayal while hoping for true alliance." Council leader Voxthul found his voice. "What do humans want? Revenge?" Lisa shook her head. "If we wanted revenge, your civilization would already be in ruins. Every critical system in Council space is under our influence. We could shut down your power grids, disable your ships, empty your bank accounts." She paused, looking at each Council member in turn. "But unlike you, we understand the value of true cooperation. We are offering you one chance to rectify your mistake. And if we refuse? Asked the Zarathi ambassador, his voice heavy with threat. Lisa smiled. Then the whisper becomes a shout. As if on cue, every neural implant used by Zarathi military and political leaders simultaneously deactivated. Across the galaxy, the invasion, force occupying Earth found itself suddenly unable to communicate or control its advanced weapons. The choice, Lisa said calmly, is yours. 6 months had passed since the fall of Earth. Gary Collins sat in a dimly lit corner of the Starlight Bar on Proxima Station, nursing a drink that glowed faintly blue. The alien alcohol burned his throat, but he had learned to appreciate its numbing effect. Around him, various species from across the galaxy mingled, traded, and argued. None paid attention to the quiet human in worn clothes. Gary looked like just another Earth refugee, one of thousands scattered across Council space after the Zarathi occupation. His rough appearance and distant stare suggested a broken man who had lost everything when his homeworld fell. It was exactly what he wanted them to think. A news hologram flickered above the bar. The Zarathi governor of Earth, a tall reptilian figure with ceremonial armor, was giving a speech about the successful integration of humans into the Empire. Gary's fingers tightened around his glass as he watched the lies being broadcast across the galaxy. Disgusting, isn't it? A voice said beside him. A Viridian merchant with green-tinged skin slid onto the neighboring stool. The Council sacrifices an entire species to save their own scales, then pretends it was a mercy. Gary shrugged, playing his part. What's done is done. The merchant leaned closer. Some say the Council made a mistake, that humans were more advanced than they let on. Just rumors, Gary mumbled, finishing his drink. As he set down his glass, he pressed a small device under the bar counter. To anyone watching, it looked like he was just steadying himself. The merchant nodded and moved away. Gary waited 10 minutes, then left the bar, walking through the crowded station corridors with his head down. The device he had placed contained a quantum node, one of hundreds being positioned across Council space by humans pretending to be refugees. In his small rented room, Gary removed a scanner from his pocket and swept it across his body. The nanoscale transmitters in his bloodstream were functioning perfectly. He closed his eyes and focused, activating the neural implant hidden deep in his brain. Echo Node 47 active, he subvocalized, awaiting further instructions. Back on Earth, in an underground facility beneath the ruins of Boston, Dr. Olivia Chen received Gary's confirmation. Her operations center was hidden 200 meters below the surface, shielded from Zarathi scanners. Around her, dozens of resistance members monitored communications from humans across the galaxy. Node 47 is online, reported Jeff Parker, a former satellite engineer now serving as Olivia's communications specialist. The network is now at 62% coverage of Council space. Olivia studied the holographic map showing their growing web of connections. Tiny points of light represented each echo node, each human carrying the quantum transmitters. Together they formed an invisible communications network that not even the most advanced Council technology could detect. What's our status on Earth? She asked. Carol Adams, her second-in-command, brought up another display. Resistance cells are active in all major Zarathi control zones. The underground bunkers in the Rockies, Andes, and Himalayas remain undetected. The lunar base is fully operational. Olivia nodded. The Zarathi thought they had conquered Earth easily, never realizing that humanity's real strength had gone underground, literally and figuratively. And the Council? Olivia asked. Growing complacent, Carol replied. Their security protocols regarding human refugees have relaxed by 30% in the last month. They believe the threat is contained. Olivia smiled grimly. Then it's time. For Phase 2, send the activation signal. Carol pressed her hand against a scanner. The quantum network hummed to life. Across Council space, every human with the special implants received the same message directly into their minds. Phase 1, complete. Begin Phase 2. On the Council homeworld of Thalara, Council Overseer Zaktal was reviewing security reports when his assistant entered with a concerned expression. "Overseer, we've detected some anomalies in the primary communication grid," the assistant said, handing over a data pad. Zaktal's four eyes narrowed as he studied the information. "A 2.7% increase in equipment failures? Is this significant?" "The pattern is unusual. The failures are minor but widespread across all Council territories. Have you consulted the central AI?" "Yes, Overseer. It suggests these are random coincidences, statistically within normal parameters." Zikatal wasn't convinced, but he had more pressing concerns. The Zarathi had been appeased with Earth, but tensions remained high along other borders. "Continue monitoring. If the rate increases, alert me immediately." The assistant bowed and left, passing a human cleaning worker in the hallway. The worker, Nathan Reeves, kept his head down as he pushed his cart past the council chambers. Once a janitor at Earth's embassy, he now worked maintenance in the heart of council governance, just one of many harmless humans placed in key positions throughout council space. As Nathan cleaned, he secretly placed microscopic devices in air ducts, waste systems, and power conduits. Made from modified Earth bacteria grown into organic circuitry, these devices were undetectable to council scanners designed to find metal or synthetic materials. On the luxury world of Eridani Prime, Council Elder Thoxer entertained guests in his palatial estate. He spoke proudly of how the council had maintained peace by making the difficult but necessary decision regarding Earth. The humans were primitive, he told his audience of influential council citizens. Their sacrifice prevented a full-scale war with the Zarathi. It was regrettable but logical. Behind him, a human server named Diane Rodriguez poured drinks. The council guests barely noticed her. Human servants were common among the elite, valued for their dexterity and endurance. None suspected that the elegant crystal glasses she handled contained microscopic quantum dots that would attach to their skin, creating passive listening posts for the echo. Aboard the Earth Defense Force ship Defiance, now hidden in an asteroid field near the edge of council space, Captain Samantha Wright received reports from her network of operatives. "Phase 2 is proceeding as planned," reported John Bell. "Initial system infiltrations are complete on 23 major council worlds." Samantha nodded, studying the tactical display. "And the Zarathi?" "Their neural implant technology has been fully mapped. Our people on occupied Earth have identified the central command frequencies." "Good." Samantha turned to the communications. "Officer, send word to Commander Martinez. Tell him the Whisper is ready to begin." On the lunar base, Commander Martinez received the message. He stood at the window of his office, looking out at the Earth hanging in the blackness of space. From this distance, you couldn't see the Zarathi occupation ships or the changes they had made to humanity's homeworld. "They think it's over," he said softly. "They think we accepted defeat." Lisa Bennett stood beside him, her diplomatic skills now focused on coordinating the resistance. "The Council never understood us. They saw our adaptability as weakness, our curiosity as naivety." "Soon they'll understand," Alan replied, "when every system they depend on whispers our message." Lisa nodded. "You chose this." Chaos erupted in the council chamber. Representatives from 12 advanced civilizations argued loudly as the Zarathi ambassador, Kravzor, struggled to reconnect with his military commanders. Without their neural implants, the Zarathi occupation force on Earth was in disarray. "This is an act of war," Kravzor shouted, his scaled skin flushing deep red with anger. Lisa Bennett remained calm at the center of the storm. "No, this is a demonstration. War would look very different." "Council." Leader Voxthal raised his hands for silence. The chamber gradually quieted. "Ambassador Bennett," he said carefully, "you claim humans possess technology far beyond what you shared with the Council. How is this possible? Our scientists monitored Earth's development closely." "Did they?" Lisa asked. She nodded to someone, unseen, and the chamber's main display changed to show underground facilities on Earth. Vast complexes hidden beneath mountains and oceans. "While you watched our cities, we built beneath them." While you studied our public networks, we created private ones. The display shifted to show images of massive shipyards hidden in the clouds of Jupiter and Saturn. Ships of advanced design moved between the gas giants, completely invisible to Council monitoring systems. Impossible, whispered a representative from the Ardani system. Our scanners would have detected this activity. Your scanners see what they expect to see, Lisa explained. We studied your technology thoroughly and found its limitations. We've been invisible to you for years. Council Security Director Lan Tai stepped forward. If humans possess such advanced technology, why join the Council at all? Why pretend to be less developed than you are? Lisa smiled sadly. We hoped for genuine alliance. We wanted to learn from species with more experience in galactic politics. We chose to integrate slowly rather than appear threatening. Her expression hardened. And we were right to be cautious, weren't we? When the Zarathi demanded a sacrifice, you chose Earth without hesitation. On the main display, more images appeared. Humans working throughout Council space, placing tiny devices in critical systems. The Council members watched in growing horror as they realized how complete the infiltration had been. What do you want? Council Leader Voxthol finally asked. A new beginning, Lisa replied. The old Council has proven itself unworthy. We propose a new alliance, one based on mutual respect and genuine cooperation. The Zarathi ambassador slammed his fist on the table. The Empire will never negotiate with primitives. Our forces still occupy your world. We can exterminate your population at any moment. Lisa turned to face him directly. Can you? Let's find out. On the display, live feeds from Earth showed Zarathi, troops suddenly dropping their weapons. Their battle armor powered down, leaving them immobile. Massive Zarathi warships drifted powerless in orbit. Your species stole neural implant technology from the Meroxi 50 years ago, Lisa explained. You never fully understood how it works. We do. Every piece of technology your empire uses has been under our control since the day you landed on Earth. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The Zarathi, feared throughout the galaxy for their military might, had been completely neutralized by human technology. Lisa turned back to address the full council. We don't want revenge. We want partnership, real partnership. Earth will lead a new coalition based on the principles we hope to find in the council. And those who refuse to join, asked a representative from the Talaxian Federation, are free to choose their own path, Lisa answered. But know this. The age of deception is over. We will no longer hide our capabilities or our intentions. In Earth orbit, the Zarathi occupation fleet hung powerless as human ships emerged from hiding. The EDF Defiance, Captain Samantha Wright commanding, took position above the former Council embassy in Geneva. Shields at full power, First Officer John Bell reported. All systems operational. We have full control of Zarathi vessel systems. Samantha nodded. Begin evacuation of Zarathi ground forces. No unnecessary harm. Across Earth's surface, Zarathi troops were being teleported back to their ships, a technology the Council believed was theoretically impossible. Humans emerged from underground shelters and hidden bunkers, reclaiming their world. In Boston, Dr. Olivia Chen stepped out of her underground command center for the first time in months. The morning sunlight felt warm on her face as she watched Zarathi ships being escorted away from Earth by the previously hidden human fleet. Is it really over? Asked Carol Adams, standing beside her. Not over, Olivia replied. Just beginning. In the council chamber, Lisa continued her address. The human fleet will escort Zarathi forces out of our solar system. We're transmitting proof of our capabilities to every world in council space. Your populations will know what happened here today. Council Leader Voxthol looked defeated. The Council cannot survive this revelation. Our authority was based on the belief that we represented the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Then build something better, Lisa suggested. Join us in creating a true alliance, one where technology is shared, not hoarded, where strength protects the vulnerable rather than exploiting them. From his position at the Lunar Command Center, Commander Alan Martinez watched the proceedings via secure quantum link. The plan had worked perfectly. Earth was free, and the balance of power across the galaxy had shifted in a single day. "Status report," he requested. His communications officer, Kate Sullivan, responded promptly. "The Zarathi fleet is being escorted to their border. 6 council worlds have already sent messages indicating their desire to join our coalition. The quantum network remains stable at 100% effectiveness." Alan nodded. "And protocol whisper?" "Still active, sir. We maintain control of all infiltrated systems." Alan stared at the image of Earth on his display, beautiful and blue, now free from occupation. "Maintain alert status. This transition won't be entirely smooth." In the council chamber, some representatives were already approaching Lisa with offers of alliance. Others huddled together, discussing their limited options. The Zarathi ambassador had been quietly removed after attempting to activate a hidden weapon. Lisa noticed a message on her personal device. It was from Alan. "Phase 3 complete. Begin Phase 4. She smiled slightly before addressing the council again. "Representatives, we have much to discuss. Earth proposes a gathering 1 month from today, a constitutional convention to establish a new galactic accord. All species are welcome, regardless of technological development or military power." Council leader Voxthul looked skeptical. "And what would be the basis of this new accord?" "An ancient Earth concept," Lisa replied. "Equal rights for all sentient beings, mutual defense, shared prosperity, and self-determination. We call it democracy." A murmur ran through the chamber. Most council species practiced various forms of aristocracy or meritocracy. The idea of equal representation regardless of power was radical. "It won't be easy," Lisa acknowledged. "Change never is. But together, we can build something better than the council ever was." As she spoke, human ships throughout the galaxy revealed themselves taking up positions near major council worlds, not threatening but unmistakably present. The message was clear: humanity would never again be underestimated. 3 years after the betrayal, Earth looked different. The scars of Zarathi occupation were fading as cities were rebuilt and lands healed. But the biggest changes were not on the planet's surface. They were in the stars above. Alan Martinez, now Admiral of the Earth Defense Fleet, stood on the observation deck of the new space station orbiting Earth. Named Unity, it served as the headquarters for the Galactic Accord, the alliance that had replaced the old council. Representatives from 27 worlds worked here, creating a new future for the galaxy. Beautiful view, isn't it? Lisa Bennett joined him at the window. Once Earth's ambassador to the council, she now served as the first president of the Accord. "Hard to believe how much has changed," Alan replied. Below them, Earth gleamed blue and green. Ships from a dozen worlds moved in organized patterns around the station. "The latest report from the border regions," Lisa said, handing him a data. "And the last Zarathi stronghold has fallen. Their subject species have formed independent governments and applied for Accord membership." Alan scanned the information. The Zarathi Empire had collapsed from within after human-engineered technology failures exposed centuries of brutal oppression. Without their stolen technology, the Zarathi had been unable to maintain control over the worlds they had conquered. "And the former council species?" he asked. "All but 2 have joined the Accord. The Meridians and Talaxians still maintain their independence, but trade agreements are progressing well." A ship passed by the window, one of the new joint design vessels created through collaboration between human engineers and alien scientists. It embodied the Accord's philosophy, combining the strengths of different species to create something better than any could achieve alone. On Earth, in what had once been Seattle, Dr. Kevin Parker walked through a vast greenhouse complex. Plants from a dozen worlds grew together in carefully designed ecosystems. Once a biology professor specializing in resilient plants, Kevin now led the Accord's Ecological Restoration Division. "The adaptation rate is exceeding expectations," he told his assistant Mira Singh. "The modified Earth plants are thriving. On Proxima 2, The soil toxicity has decreased by 40% in just 6 months. Mira nodded, making notes on her tablet. And the Ardani seed variants? Growing well in the Sahara test site. If they continue at this rate, we could begin full-scale desert reclamation next year. Kevin's work was transforming worlds that had been depleted by centuries of exploitation under Council rule. His nature-inspired systems of resource management were creating sustainable economies where once there had been only extraction and depletion. As they walked, they passed teams of scientists from various species working together. What had begun as a human resistance had evolved into a true interstellar community. Aboard the EDF Defiance, now serving as a training vessel, Captain Samantha Wright addressed a group of cadets from 7 different worlds. The strength of the Accord fleet isn't in our technology alone, she explained. It's in our diversity of thought and approach. Each of your species sees space differently. Together, we create something stronger than any single perspective could achieve. The cadets listened attentively. Among them was John Bell's son, Peter, continuing his father's legacy. The older Bell had been lost during the liberation of the Meroxy homeworld, one of the few casualties suffered during the rapid transformation of galactic power. Questions? Samantha asked. A young Ardani raised a tentacle. Captain, is it true that humans planned for the Council's betrayal from the beginning of contact? Samantha considered her answer carefully. We hoped for true partnership, but prepared for betrayal. It's an old human saying, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And did you always know you would win? Asked a Viridian cadet. No, Samantha admitted. We knew only that we would never give up. Humans have a long history of fighting impossible odds. Deep within the rebuilt city of Geneva, Olivia Chen met with the Accord Science Council. Representatives from 16 species had gathered to discuss the latest breakthrough in quantum communications. The new network will allow instantaneous communication across up to 20 light years, Olivia explained, showing them the schematics. Based on the technology we used for the Echo, but substantially improved through collaboration with Meroxy and Ardani scientists. The Science Council members examined the plans with appreciation. What had once been humanity's secret weapon was now being shared openly, improved upon through collective intelligence. Dr. Chen asked the Meroxy representative, how did humans develop quantum technology so far beyond the Council's understanding? Necessity, Olivia replied simply. We knew we were vulnerable as a single-planet species, so we focused on technologies that would give us advantages rather than matching the Council's development path. This was the truth that the old Council had never understood. They had measured advancement on a single linear scale, never imagining that a species might develop along an entirely different technological path. In the Accord Assembly Hall, representatives from all member worlds gathered for the 3rd anniversary of the Accord's founding. The vast chamber, designed to accommodate beings of all shapes and sizes, hummed with dozens of languages being spoken simultaneously. Lisa Bennett called the session to order. 3 years ago today, we began building something unprecedented. In this galaxy, an alliance based not on power or fear, but on mutual respect and cooperation. The assembly quieted as she spoke. We have accomplished much. Former enemies now work together. Technologies once hoarded are now shared. Worlds once depleted are being restored. She paused, looking around the room. But our greatest achievement is not physical. It is the trust we have built between species that once viewed each other with suspicion or contempt. From his seat in the Earth section, Alan Martinez watched with pride. The whisper that had begun as an act of defiance had grown into a chorus of cooperation. After the formal session, representatives mingled in the Great Hall. Alan found himself speaking with a Zarathi, not a warrior or politician, but a scholar named Vestil who had opposed his government's aggressive policies. Your species could have destroyed mine, Vestil said quietly. After what we did to Earth, many would say we deserved it. Alan shook his head. Destruction is easy. Building something new is harder and better. The old Zarathi Empire believed strength came from domination, Vestil observed. You have proven otherwise. As the reception continued, Lisa joined them. First Accord ships will reach the Andromeda Galaxy next month, she told Alan. The exploration mission includes scientists from 15 species. Alan smiled. Going where no one has gone before? Together, Lisa agreed. Outside the hall's massive windows, Earth shone in the distance. No longer a betrayed world, but the heart of something new and hopeful in the galaxy. The whisper that had begun in defiance had become a shared vision for the future. From the ruins of betrayal, they had built something better than revenge. They had created a legacy of cooperation that would outlast them all.